Joyce Smith has been smoking since she was 16. Until 5 years ago, she was on between 20 and 30 cigarettes a day.
Hi.
Hello, James. Come in.
Joyce has a smoking-related disease called emphysema. It means she has difficulty breathing. She can't even make it to her front door and back without getting out of breath. Oxygen helps get her breathing back to normal.
Do you have to keep oxygen near you wherever you go?
Well, only when I'm really sort of bad. But it's, I have to keep oxygen in the house all the time. And I keep one in here, look, and there's one in the bedroom. And I have this wonderful long wandering lead when I'm at home, so that when I'm sort of really bad, I can sort of go to the loo or walk all around the house. And I don't get into difficulty.
Why did you start smoking?
Well, I started smoking when I was about 16, and I didn't like it. Really, the only reason I started was because everybody else did.
The problem is that over many years, the cigarette smoke has damaged the most delicate part of Joyce's airways. At the end of each airway, there are tiny air sacs. Each air sac is made up of hollow bubbles called alveoli. Millions of alveoli give the lungs the big surface area they need for oxygen and carbon dioxide to pass in and out. But smoking causes the delicate walls of the alveoli to break down. This reduces the surface area, so the sufferer gets easily short of breath. Joyce can no longer do the things she once took for granted, like unloading the washing machine.
Just doing that, really, as you can see, makes me really very breathless. And when you think that when you're normal, you just never even think about it. It's those sorts of differences that really bring it home to you.
In the Pathology Museum at Leeds University, parts of the body have been preserved for study. Candida is trying to find out more about the effects smoking has on the lungs. She's here to talk to medical student Caroline Henderson.
Well, smoking has quite a lot of effects on the lungs because that's the first place the smoke goes when you breathe it in. You can see in these lungs that are from somebody who hasn't smoked, they're all nice and pale and healthy. And here you can see some of the air passages, and that's how the air gets into your lungs. Whereas this is from somebody who's smoked a lot, and there's lots of black bits from the charcoal and the tar that they've breathed in. And here you can see a tumour, and that's cancer caused by smoking.
What's the latest information about passive smoking?
Well, it's always been thought that passive smoking is probably bad for your health, but a study has shown that people that live with smokers are more likely to have heart and lung problems, even if they don't smoke themselves.
This recent study estimates that passive smoking increases a non-smoker's risk of lung cancer by more than 25%. TV presenter Roy Castle believed that passive smoking was the cause of his cancer. Damages the lungs, but cigarettes also contain a chemical called nicotine, which affects the brain. Nicotine is a drug. It makes smoking addictive. Alcohol is another drug which affects the brain. People don't drink and smoke to help cure diseases. They drink and smoke because they like the effect. Nicotine is a mild stimulant, making the brain more alert, while alcohol is a relaxing sedative which slows it down. Psychologists have been interested for a long time in exactly what effect alcohol has on the brain's activity. Hundreds of road accidents are caused every year because people drink and drive. Scientists are able to measure the effect drinking alcohol has on a person's ability to handle a car safely. But it's too dangerous to carry out experiments on the road. Instead, they use a computer simulator at the Institute for Transport Studies at Leeds University. A real car is linked up to a computer. It sits in front of a wide screen and doesn't move, but the sounds and views through the windscreen give the driver the impression that they're on the road. Kate hasn't had any alcohol and is driving quite safely. Her brain is functioning and reacting normally. Her reactions are tested by pressing the keys on a computer. She presses a key each time she sees a square light up on the screen. The time it takes between the light coming on and Kate pressing the button is her reaction time. 2 tests were carried out before she had anything to drink. Her average reaction times were 0.34 and 0.37 seconds. But how will this change after drinking a large measure of alcohol? A short while later, a breathalyzer shows that the alcohol has worked its way into Kate's blood supply. A reading of 0.08 on this breathalyzer is the legal alcohol limit for driving. 0.04 means she's within the limit, but have her reaction times changed? Kate's average reaction time is now only slightly longer. So what effect will this have on her driving? She keeps a safe distance from the car in front and brakes in good time. The alcohol hasn't affected Kate's behaviour enough for her to be a danger on the roads. So it's time for another drink. The breathalyzer now shows that she is over the legal limit. How will this affect her reaction times? Kate's average reaction time is now almost twice as long. A reading of 0.77 means that on the road she would travel almost twice as far before reacting and stepping on the brakes. It could make all the difference. Kate wasn't affected by just one drink, but other people could be. Different people are affected by alcohol in different ways. How would you set up an investigation to decide what the legal limit should be? And how would you make your test fair?